Wish I was back in Texas. Meow 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 meow. Bow 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 bow. Oh. Where's that little I'll fix it in a second. Give me a minute. Greetings. Hello. Is I. Thank you for the follow, Benjamin.
Fade and greetings Doomiverse YT. Hey Doomy, so what's happening with YouTube?
Hello. Hey guys. Hey Legatus. Hey Rainer. I thought I was frozen for a second, but I was just being fucking dead still. I was like, oh my god, am I frozen? But nope, I was just being fucking still as sketchy. So I'm not really sure what's up with my YouTube. I gotta,
Sup Legatus?
there's a bunch of different stuff going on.
Fade and greetings Rainer NSR7.
Okay, well, YouTube's obviously working.
Howdy. Howdy. Howdy.
Whenever I envisioned having the mic right here, I didn't realize it was going to be blocking my ability to get to my keyboard with my right arm. You know? And then I smacked this fucking thing constantly in my hand.
Any donations are appreciated. Thank you
I've
so
hit
much.
this
Link
thing
US.
like 5 times.
Please like the stream.
Least.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna end up breaking this poor thing. I'm glad I got a cheap one of these, because if I spent a lot of money on this, I'd be very upset. This fucking
Stream
thing.
Elements bot running. Learn how to customize the bot here. Link.
Honestly, I'm tempted to not even use this fucking
Howdy.
thing. This pop filter, because it's so in the way. So I thought Steel Leg was gonna
You
be.
need its overhead.
Yeah, I need one of those boom. Fuck! I smacked it again. I need one of those boom arms, but unfortunately, the cheapest one you can get. Well, okay, there's a couple of cheap ones, but I'm not sure I want to buy like a $20 crap one that's gonna possibly drop my mic. Because I paid a lot of money for this mic. I don't want this thing getting dropped. So they have one for $40, and then they have one that actually is the same brand as the microphone that actually goes with the microphone, but that's $80, and I don't really feel like paying $80 for a fucking piece of metal. As for my YouTube, oh, here, let me, I need to fix my,
have your mic set up within Sonar, let me show you around the mic and all of its functionalities. So up first, let's go ahead and adjust the gain on your mic itself. You're going to need to use the knob on the back of the microphone. Now we have it back here because it's something that you're really only going to have to adjust once, and then you should just leave it alone. The only time you would really need to adjust it again is if you change the positioning of the microphone on your desk. So as far as positioning, both the Alias and the Alias Pro have a cardioid pattern, which means that you have about a 30 to 40 degree arc in front of the mic that you can play with.
So what is
as well, compared to other gaming mics, we use a 1-inch capsule, so it has about a 3.2 times bigger surface area. Now because the Alias and Alias Pro are both condenser microphones, you don't need to be right on top of them. So ideally, you can be as close as 3 to 4 inches or up to 2 feet away with the front of the mic facing you. Now go ahead and start turning the knob on the back of the microphone while talking. Keep focus on the LEDs that are on the front of the mic. They're your indicator for how loud the audio is and what the mic is actually picking up. There's going to be 5 LEDs that move up and down. 3 are going to be green, 1 is yellow, and 1 is red. You're going to want to try and stay in the sweet spot of 3 green LEDs for your lowest and normal talking voice, and then the yellow for your highest. If you see yourself regularly going into the red, just make small adjustments to the gain dial on the back of the mic. These LEDs are going to let you consistently monitor your levels so you're always sounding great. Now to help out with voice monitoring, we've also included a headphone port on the back of the mic under the USB-C port. This way you're able to hardwire a headset into the microphone, allowing you to live monitor your...
Okay, so the front one is the headset thing, so don't touch that one. So let me look at something real quick. Do. How loud is that? Did I send this to myself on Discord? Why did it... No, and the whole thing's going on. That's awesome. Okay, never mind. I already got it. Okay, cool. Okay, so what was I doing? Okay, I wanted to check my audio. Hello. Okay, check my audio. Hello. Check my hello. Hello.
Good morning family, I hope all is well with you. Have a good day on stream. Welcome Oak Silver 23. Audio seems good.
Parker. Yeah, I was just making sure that my mic's not too loud. I've realized that you could... The back one is the one that affects the microphone. Bum 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 bum. Once I download the software thing, I can tweak it more. But I think we're good to go. So I hurried up and got on because I looked at Stillegg's YouTube and it said that he had a stream starting at 7, and I'm like, oh shit, he's about to start a stream. But then I look at the date on it and it's not even for today, so he's not even streaming today. So I was like, oh fuck. I fucking got up off my ass and turned my computer on for nothing. For nothing. For some reason I keep wanting to put my face right into this thing. I don't know why.
Yet I've done that LMAO.
Yeah. So I guess I'm playing by myself. which is fine. I found him some good stuff too. The game name is Doom if anyone wants to come join. You know what's funny is all the streamers are like worried about stream snipers and whatnot. I would love for someone to join my game and try to kill me. I swear to God I would. I mean like in Fortnite or something. If you join me on Diablo and fucking kill me, I'd beat the shit out of you. I would literally crack something over your fucking head. You fucking come in Diablo, kick my ass, you son of a bitch.
How may I help you?
If I could, I would just for you do me. Rainer NSR7 just reached level 9.
Everybody always complains about stream snipers, but I wish I had a stream sniper, good God.
How do I know?
I mean, how good are these streamers if they're getting killed by a bunch of randoms? Except for Tfue. Tfue is actually really fucking good. You know, it disappointed me in that Mr. Beast video and Tfue lost the Fortnite thing. And he only lost because Mr. Beast didn't give him time to set up his keybinds. So he didn't, supposedly he didn't have a button to get out of the plane, but someone said in a YouTube comment that if you look on the left side of the screen, there was a button. He just, it wasn't the button he's used to pressing or whatever.
I'm not a big fan of PvP anymore. So yeah, there's that LOL.
Yeah. Yeah, not everyone's into PvP. That's what I like about Arc Raiders is that there's PvE lobbies and there's some friendly people. Because I like being in the friendly lobbies. I mean, I don't mind fighting people, but...
I don't.
I was so tired earlier last night. I know I'm super fly. So there was another version of this mic, but it was the Alias Pro, and it came with the
So what's the update with Adsense?
one of those things. I forgot what it's called. Yeah, this thing.
For you to damage a microphone if
PLC's coming. So with AdSense, so I have my original YouTube AdSense. I can't close it because it's got $90 in earnings, and I have to complete my account setup or whatever, and I can't because I set it as a business account, and I don't have business documents and everything I need to complete the payment process, so I can never get paid, and I can never remonetize that assets, and I can never fix it, and the YouTube help people said they can't help. Basically, it's fucked. So I'm gonna have to create I've been watching a bunch of YouTube videos, and one of the things that could work is if I use like if I create like a brand new email and use like my mom's name and like my mom's information instead of my information. That might work. But if that doesn't work, then
You'll have to go through Google support.
I've already Google support. I don't think they can do anything about it. You think Google support can do
Please
something about
follow,
it?
subscribe and like the stream, thank you.
Let me ask the AI. Can Google support help me close my business AdSense account or payments profile?
AdSense is through Google.
So it says that they can't help. They can only help if I have a merchant profile. It says that they're gonna pretty much just give me automated tools to do it myself. Unless I have a merchant profile, a large publisher, or a YouTube creator. If I'm a YouTube creator, I have to contact YouTube creator support. And contacting YouTube creator support does nothing. I just watched a bunch of YouTube videos about people in my same boat, where every time we contact YouTube creator support, they tell us they can't tell us what's wrong, and that our AdSense doesn't meet program criteria, which is a bunch of bullshit. So what some people did, and it worked for them, is they closed all their AdSense accounts, and then they made a brand new email with a different phone number and a different address. And so I'm wondering if I create a new email. Now I'm wondering if I should use my name on it, or if I should use my mom's name on it.
One moment.
And my brother's phone number. Either way, I probably have to use a different address, a different phone number, and possibly my mom's name instead of my name. Either way, the whole thing is fucked. And it's been 4 years since I was monetized. So we're talking about 4 years of loss of income because of this bullshit. And nobody can fucking help me. Nobody wants to help me, it's the sad thing. It's fucked up. This is whoever helped me, and definitely needs some nicer than in return, but no. So, it's not that necessarily nobody wants to help me, it's that like nobody can help me. There's gotta be other people that have been in my situation. I can't be the only person. I don't know, it's all this crap. You know, so pretty much I'm almost to the point where I'm gonna quit even trying to give up on my YouTube again.
One viewers,
I'm so
plus
fucking
1,
close to
20
giving up on
minutes
my
and
YouTube
31
again.
seconds.
I had the same problem years ago when I tried to get remonetized and I couldn't fucking figure out what the fuck to do. I couldn't fucking get nothing done. Well, get the fuck out of my way then. And so I just gave up. I only tried recently because I thought the AI could help me, but even the AI can't fucking help me. Nobody can help me. It's a fucking joke. Getting monetized on YouTube's a fucking joke. The sad thing is I was already fucking monetized on YouTube. If I just wouldn't have fucking quit doing YouTube when I got that job. It's not my fault. I was fucking tired all the time and I couldn't fucking do any streaming anymore. It's fucking bullshit, man. I'm always getting screwed over because of bullshit. Fucking totally.
Where did you apply through? YouTube or AdSense itself?
YouTube.
I am overburdened.
Sol runes. Yay, the day saved. The whole YouTube system's a fucking joke. If I didn't have close to 1 million views, I'd fucking get the fuck away from me then. Too pissed off to be fucking around right now.
Not enough mana.
I don't know, it just sucks because I had on my fucking hopes up that I could get my shit fixed, and at this point, I don't think it's gonna get fixed.
Firstly, is this your situation? I accidentally set up too many AdSense accounts on YouTube through Google and now I can't get monetized.
No, I don't have the duplicate error anymore. I'm not really sure exactly what the problem is because other people have made multiple AdSense accounts and then closed them and then opened a new one and then got monetized and it was fine. So I don't think it's the fact that I made multiple accounts because they become inactive after a certain amount of time anyway, and then the problem I think is with that business account that has the $90 in earnings. I think the fact that it has the $90 in earnings is what's screwing me. The only thing I could think to do is try to get that YouTube AdSense, maybe try to link that one back to my YouTube, and then try to earn $10 more to get the $100 thing. So I'm pretty sure once you reach $100, they have to pay you that $100. I'm not sure exactly what to do or what's going on, but basically that money is going to sit there for years and then eventually be claimed by the state. Which is the gayest thing I've ever heard. My $90 is getting claimed by the fucking state that my friend Albert sent me. What a joke. He should get refunded that fucking money. I felt bad about that for years. People talk all this shit about Twitch. Well, Twitch doesn't have this fucking horseshit fucking monetization process like YouTube. And at least they fucking probably have some kind of support that are
If you accidentally set it up as a business account, the only option would be to delete/cancel the account because you can't change it from the original setup.
Right, but the thing is I can't delete it because it has the $90 in earnings. The $90 in earnings is, got it locked. So basically I have to complete the verification process to get paid out, but the fact that I set it as a business account, I have to complete the verification process. Because I set it as a business account, I can't do the verification process. So it's basically locked. Like literally, I can't even delete the payment profile off Google. I can't do anything. And YouTube and Google recently made a change where you can't change your account from business to individual, and they can't change it for you anymore. So it's permanently stuck as a business account with $90 in earnings that I can't access. Which I don't know how they're getting away with that, because I was told that they're legally required to pay you that money. So the whole thing is retarded, not making any sense. Damn, that's even better than that one. I'm just over the whole thing at this point. Wait, didn't I need that soul room? What's the insight room word for YouTube? Route for tell soul. Route to tell soul. Fuck! I got the rune I needed. Yes! That's exactly what I thought when I picked it up.
Google states, you can't change an AdSense account type from business to individual once activated, and you are stuck in verification. You must close the business account and create a new personal one.
Yeah, but I can't close the business account because it's stuck. Because it's got $90 in earnings, and so in order to close the account,
Google
they have
+1 important. Do not continue trying to fix the business account if you do not have business documentation, IN, TIN, company registration.
Right, so basically the YouTube lady said to just leave that account and don't touch it. She said it'll be fine. But I don't think it will be fine. I think she lied to me. Honestly, I think I'm fucked. I think I should just give up on YouTube and on the stream on Twitch, Kick, and Rumble at this point. But it sucks because I'm almost at 1 million fucking views. The whole thing is just a disappointment. You worked hard for all these years, doing all this bullshit, and then they fuck you.
That account might need be forfeited.
Fucking bullshit. Right, but I don't know how to forfeit it. I don't know. Joke. They didn't have fucking people to help fucking retards fucking do some bullshit. And people on YouTube, there's so many people.
Incoming ad break.
Incoming at break.
You go on YouTube, there's fucking people that have this exact problem. Thousands of fucking people trying to do the same bullshit. And YouTube's fucking fault for having this, all this fucking stupid insane to get through. Google Adsense is stupid. Yeah, we're not fucking adding another kind of fucking monetization process onto YouTube and this stupid fucking medieval fucking social system. Instead of firing all those people at Epic Games, they should fire all the people at YouTube and replace them with people who actually want to do something instead of selling their ass, sending the same fucking emails, fucking same people, fucking your AdSense does not meet program criteria. Like, yeah, that's a fucking joke. It obviously does, and there's some fucking bug in the system. Fucking people in YouTube are, the fucking YouTube people are lazy as fuck.
It states if you cannot close the account, you will need to abandon the account and unlink your YouTube.
Yeah, it's not linked to my YouTube.
Please like the stream, thank you.
But the fact that it's still open, or not, well not, it's not active. It's inactive or whatever. But it was once linked to my YouTube, and it still has the same name and address and probably phone number. Well, I think it has actually a different phone number because it was like several years ago. But how about trying to make a brand new I got a couple things I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to, number one,
I found a lot of information, but I found it through Google, not YouTube.
I think one thing I should try is to create a brand new email
It is an honor to serve you.
and try to link it to my. So I'm gonna create a brand new email account.
Hello.
And then I'm going to go to the YouTube earn thing, and I'm gonna try to get remonetized, whatever, and then I'm gonna select no, I do not have a existing Google AdSense account, and then we're gonna create a new one through YouTube like you're supposed to with my brand new email. And ideally I would like to use my brother or my sister's phone number or somebody, but my family doesn't want to help me out, so it's kind of a pain in my ass. I tried to ask my mom for help. She didn't want to help. It just sucks when your family doesn't want to help you out.
What kind of phone do you have, and does it have a 2 SIM card option?
I have no idea, actually. It's some kind of Motorola $40 phone from Walmart. Motorola. Give me 1 second, I'll be right over. Ugh, sorry. Ugh. I have to smoke because I'm stressed out, man. I have a Motorola phone. It's like a $40 phone from Walmart. I don't know if it has the SIM card thing. I think it does right here, but I've never opened it. I'm not really sure what it is. Nah, you won't be able to see it, but there's like a little slit there. But I wouldn't even know how to open it, and I don't have any fingernails. I've only used a SIM card one time, so I'm not really sure what to do there.
I've just got a cheap Vivo phone and it's got 2 SIM card slots. What you need is a prepaid SIM card.
A prepaid SIM card? What will that do? Oh, like a different phone? Like a cheap phone is what you're saying? That's what I thought about.
Have it set up to receive phone calls.
Yeah, like a cheap phone. Well, I have a second phone. I have another phone I can use.
You won't need another phone if it's got the secondary slot.
Well, I have another phone. I could just get the other phone activated in 5 minutes for it. Or then just have a different phone number. But I don't know if that's gonna even do anything, to be honest. I'm gonna scratch my back. Yeah, but thanks for telling me that, because I didn't even think to activate my other phone. What a good idea.
When I had my business I had 2 SIM cards so I knew who was calling from what reason.
Yeah, like my friend, I Took Your Dogs, he had, cats, I think, set up his monetization stuff on Twitch. So he didn't even have to do his because someone did it for him. I wish someone would do this fucking shit for me, goddammit. I'd pay someone like $100 so they could fucking figure this shit out. It's so fucking annoying. I was gonna put in my stream title that I was gonna give someone $100 if they could help me fix this shit, but I didn't want a bunch of fucking people coming in here just trying to, you know, get the $100. I highly doubt anyone's gonna be able to help anyway, so I highly doubt it.
Mate, if I was there I'd do it for you but you wouldn't have to pay me, lol.
I know I need an Asian guy, a really smart Asian guy to do all my shit for me. Dun, dun, dun. I'm tempted to wear these boots even though I'll walk a little bit slower, but they have magic find. I could also give these to my other character. Plus 150 to maximum stamina? You know, I never noticed that. Holy shit. I'm gonna give these to my other character now. I'm gonna be... Oh god. And then I got some necromancer stuff for Steel Leg whenever he wants to play. Oh hey, you know what? I bet you if I send him a screenshot... Oh. Oh nice, he's getting his old bed. He's moving out his old bed frame today. Oh, what the fuck? I took a screenshot of the wrong fucking ones.
Please
Isn't there a
follow,
seal on it? What the
subscribe and
fuck?
like the stream,
wow.
thank you.
That's a badass wand. Yeah, I attempted to not even give that to him and keep it for myself, but nah, I'm not gonna be playing the Necro, so I don't even care, you know. Even if I was to make another character, I do like the Necromancer, but I would probably pick the Druid because the Druid's my favorite character. But I also have a bunch of good stuff for the Sorceress too, so the whole thing kinda... Like I have all these damn stats for the Sorceress. And a couple things for the Amazon. I got this awesome amulet too. Stupid YouTube. Alright. We got the waypoint, right? Okay, we're good. Doomiverse Marines Evil Incorporated. I am loving this, these skills for the Necromancer. I mean, at first I wasn't a big fan because of kind of the pinkish color. But this one, I like it. Makes him different from the others. What was that? Where's my internet's being funky? You know, I did get an Ethernet cable, so I still have to plug that in and stuff. My fucking mixer, guys. I'm gonna have to drink some water. That new map of Arc Raiders is really fun. I'm gonna go play it in a bit. I just wanted to play a bit of Diablo. I like to hop around between games, it is fun.
I'll need to make my way to bed in a bit.
Bad. Too bad. I just woke up. Woke up, watched some YouTube, and then got really aggravated because I realized that I'm on a really uphill battle. Do that, and we will Nope, I didn't.
I can't carry anymore.
It's already Friday morning for me.
Is it really? What's today? Thursday. Oh my god, it's Friday for you? What the fuck? My gaming chair arrives on Monday. Damn, today's only Thursday, so what? We got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday? Damn, my chair's not gonna arrive for fucking ever, it seems. Well,
I'm currently in Australia.
sometimes when you order stuff, it does come early. It really depends on what they're gonna say. It also comes late sometimes. And then I've had them cancel the fucking order. Yeah, I remember that you're in Australia. I just didn't realize that you were like a day late. I thought you were a day behind. I'm not an expert on the whole
Currently,
time
be a
zone.
worldwide traveler.
Worldwide traveler. I'm a room traveler. I travel around the room when I get up to room.
Weak servants from a weak master.
Oh, my dude's getting fucked. No. Get away from there. No, you fucking idiot. Oh. That's brutal, dude. He just got fucking... Poor guy.
When I order stuff from the UK, I'll get it within 2-3 days, but order something down the street and takes a week to 2 weeks to get here.
I can't
My
carry
dude
anymore.
died. I'm sad. Just peace. I don't want to talk to you, Lydia, until I get my friend back.
I'll let you.
That's crazy.
Good evening.
Yeah, I can't order anything from GameStop because where I live, they can't deliver to, because there's no GameStop in my city or something. I honestly don't understand the whole thing with that. It doesn't really make sense. One, it assesses the skill levels. Oh, too bad my mom's not playing. Should be wanting this.
I've done a lot of miles in the air. Please follow, subscribe and like the stream, thank you.
A lot of miles in the air.
How may I help you?
I'm not sure if I've ever been on a plane. I don't think so. Not that I recall.
Hello. They say that the
Max Mia's machine. And I'm about to level up. Thing is, I don't think I need this charm. So this is actually doing nothing. I start running. Jesus. That's nice. Jeez. Oh my god, that's... I forgot I found that. That's awesome.
Not enough mana. I need mana. I need mana. I am overburdened.
Dun, 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 dun.
Join my Discord link.
I can't use this yet.
Shit, I found the fire oasis already. Goddamn. Oh shit, here's the Hall of Dead. Good lord, this is a good map. sucks that this is online because I can't say this is a single player mode. But I'm gonna go back to this area anyway.
Not enough mana.
Now, if I was in hell, I would. Yeah, that means the waypoint has got to be down here. Oh, shit. I just have to. Fucking, I can't go back to 10.
I can't.
You better not be a force socket.
I can't.
Oof. Find that waypoint. Wait, this is it right here. Can you kill the swords too?
Hello.
Good day.
Nope, I don't have it. Hey, there we go. Finally. Something useful. Ooh, those are good boots. I have 48 full rejuvenation.
There's nothing
potions.
the right potion can't cure.
Please like the stream, thank you.
Wait, I already had the cube though. I don't think I have to go into the halls of the dead because I have the cube.
I need mana.
Pair of gloves. Give me 1 second, I don't want to get beaten with poison on that. Chance guards, gloves. Oh my god.
Clip being created. 1M. Diablo 2 Resurrected God of Warlock plus new Riventide's Arc Raiders map variety and multi-streaming. Link to Resurrected God of Warlock plus new Riventide's Arc Raiders map variety and multi-streaming clipped by the Doomiverse. Please follow, subscribe and like the stream, thank you. WZBot clip Diablo 2 Resurrected God of Warlock plus new Riventide's Arc Raiders map V, by the Doomiverse link clip Diablo 2 Resurrected God of Warlock plus new Riventide's Arc Raiders map V, by the Doomiverse, clipped by WZBot.
That's wonderful. 200% extra gold from monsters, 29% better chance of getting magic items. I'm at 51% better chance. Take me out to the ball. Shit. I guarantee the waypoint's up on the it's always on the opposite area as the cave. I'm pretty sure always. Maybe not always.
I am overburdened.
Kidding me? Does that mean the waypoints? I was wrong.
Please
Oh.
follow, subscribe,
Damn
and
it,
like
I
the
was
stream.
right
Thank you.
there. Why?
Greetings.
Good evening.
I'll put that to good use. Good evening.
Alright, into the pit of hell.
Impossible.
Oh. Damn, if that had one more socket, we would be in business. I need a four socket. Oh, a couple of them actually. See one of those in a while. You do get a lot of damage. This place just sucks. Probably one of the worst places in the entire video game is this here.
I can't.
Damn. That's brutal. A spirit mass and a crystalline glue. Oh, okay. Well, guarantee you this is probably
evening.
Greetings.
Alex, all resistance is 19. That's a really good one. Not as good as this. Oh, I was gonna make one of these for Steel Egg. I need to get forgot what runes I needed. Some of my other characters. Tito's cold skills. Oh my lord. I keep finding good stuff for the sorcerers. Tito cold skills is amazing. Plus 360 mana. Damn. That is really fucking good. And this is awesome too. One to Poison Nova, one to Iron and Golem, and one to Bone Prison. I think Steel Eagle likes that. I have 50 forages.
Good morning.
Alright Doomy, I'm off to bed, but I'll leave the stream playing and let us know how you go with AdSense.
Alright, I'm probably not gonna fuck with it until my mom gets off work. Because if I'm gonna try to use her information, I think that might be the best route. But at the same time, I want the stuff to be in my name. I think I might try to make a brand new account. Everything's just, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not gonna do anything for a while. I'm gonna take a little break. I hope you have a good night though, Rainer. Thank you for hanging out. Hiya, hiya, hiya. Speaking of which, I'm gonna go grab my soda. I'll be right back.
It'll get sorted.
I've been streaming. It'll get sorted. Yeah, I'll figure it out eventually. Maybe if it takes another 4 years.
Thus,
Good day.
I've heard.
Ooh. House of the Dead level 2. Let's see if I can go there for the cube. Damn. Oh shit. Now we do have to go to the House of the Dead. So we at least gotta get that waypoint. I gotta get all the waypoints. I won't be able to sleep at night.
Thanks.
with man.
Yes?
It is an honor to serve you.
Need some help?
Oh, poor guy.
Not enough man.
telling you, I used all those potions already. I need an item that gives me more mana. More mana.
Greetings.
Otherwise, I have to waste my entry point.
Please follow, subscribe and like the stream, thank you.
Good day.
That was perfect. Did you see that? Boom, 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 boom. I just need a false ruby and I'll have one each. I wonder what that goes up to.
Good day.
Incoming ad break.
Got to level up, yeah.
Not enough mana. I need mana.
Thanks. Thanks.
Let's go.
Please like the stream, thank you.
I'm not gonna suspension. Please.
I can't carry it. I can't use this yet. Good to see you.
Good evening.
Kind of a newbie tip, level 80, which TV, I'm going to go over what are some. So I see it argued about all the time, Facebook groups, message boards here and there, Reddit and such. What is the best base to either make your Insight or Infinity in? And there's even been a little bit of a wrinkle thrown in kind of recently, since now you can make Infinity in spears and pole arms, but just remember, obviously Insights you can only make in pole arms still. Some people argue for this base, some people argue for that base, some other people have different preferences for different reasons. So I'm going to tell you by the end of this video definitively what you should do about your Insight and Infinity base. So first up, I'm going to go over what are some of the choices that people decide to do for pole arms, since this is kind of the classic argument, and I've heard it time and time again for literally years and years. Now, right here, we have the elite versions of the pole arms right here, and these are generally what people go to. But I will say my personal advice, and a lot of people probably know this, but just in case, the very first pole arm that you get that has 4 open sockets, like on a playthrough or right after you get done with the playthrough, make your Insight instantly, especially for those casters and sorceresses, but even not if you have any other character. You do get a lot of enhanced damage relative to the cost of Ral, Tyr, Tal, and Soul. So even if you get a scythe right here. You get up to 5 sockets. It says right here on a scythe. So if you find one with 4 open sockets, first off, just slam an insight in it as fast as you can. It will help out your kill speed on your caster so much, because you will never ever have the mana problems that you had before. So that's the first thing I do want to mention, kind of a newbie tip right off the bat here, but just don't worry about the base. If you are like new to the game and you're just starting out, just make your insight as fast as you can, because generally those runes come pretty easy. So next up, once you get your better base, and we're stepping down to the elite pole arms here. Now we're just looking at standard versions. Man, I wish an Ogriac super sick could have 4 open sockets, but unfortunately it could have 3 just because it has a sick name. But you'll see a ton of these early on in ladder. That's the Colossus Volge. Now the argument for why people make their insights early on in a Colossus Volge, and that's because the maximum sockets you see right here is 4. That means if you find any Colossus Volge that is white, you can take it over to Larzik, use your Larzik socket quest, and you will get those 4 sockets you need in order to make your insight, or if you wanted to also, you could make infinity. So besides that, it is an elite base, so the top damage here is 165. It's not too shabby, but the main reason, numero uno, why they always make these CV insights early in ladder is because of the 4 open sockets. Also on top of Larzik, you could throw this in the cube, do the cube recipe that adds sockets, and because 4 is the max, I'm not going to go over the full minutia of why, you have a 50% chance of getting 4 open sockets in it, and the other 50% of the time you're going to get 1, 2, or 3. Now the negatives to the CV, it does have a major one, and that is, look at the strength requirement right here. 210 strength requirement. I don't remember exactly what it is offhand, but I believe your mercenary would have to be like level 91, 2, or 3, somewhere around there, to have enough strength in order to use this without getting extra strength on its gear. So that is one big, mega huge negative on top of that. Now you see the weapon speed over here. This is important to note for later. It's kind of an argument against the Colossus Volge as well. The weapon speed here, there's just the way, once again, I'm not going to go into crazy detail of why they number it this way, but it's a 0, and the lower the number, the better. So you do see the Ogriacs up here that you cannot actually make it in is a 10, and this one is a 0, so this one's actually faster than that. But we'll go ahead and move down to what is considered another great option here for the elite pole arms, and that is the Thresher. This is what a lot of people will argue, and once again, look at the requirements here. 152 on the strength and 118 on the dex. You could probably throw this on your mercenary at like level 80, which does not take a lot of time to get to in Diablo 2. But notice the one negative that's definitely going to get pointed out. You can't find a regular standard white Thresher in order to Larzik it and get 4 open sockets. You either have to find it directly with 4 sockets, or if you do that cube recipe I was mentioning earlier, you have a 1 in 6 chance of getting 4 open sockets. So they're much less common. So also look at the attack speed, -10. So attack speed means you hit more times, which means you leech more life, which means also crushing blow will happen more often, chopping more life off of monsters. So that's the argument for the Thresher. I know a lot of people would consider the Thresher the best possible option, and I will mention for both of these, ethereal versions will have extra damage on top of this, and also will have slightly less requirements. More specifically, the one you worry about is on the strength. So I know the CV will be 200 strength instead of 210, so you can wear it a few levels earlier, maybe like 88 instead of 92 or something like that. There are also other arguments here. We got the Great Poleaxe, we got the Giant Thresher, and the Cryptic Axe. These all fall in similar ranges to the Thresher, talking about the sockets. In other words, we got 1 in 5 here on the Cryptic Axe, we got 1 in 6, and we got 1 in 6 for the Great Poleaxe and the Giant Thresher. Now also, if you look at the strength requirements, you notice they're all not particularly super high. 165, 179, 188, so all pretty high, but all under what the Colossus Volge is, which the Colossus Volge is probably going to be the worst option if you are being nitpicky on that type of stuff. Now you can go ahead and look at the attack speed. Now the Thresher up here is -10, you see right here, and the Giant Thresher is also 10, so they're gonna have the same attack speed. The Cryptic Axe has 10, but it also has the highest top end damage, so some people will argue for that one. And the Great Poleaxe kind of falling somewhere in the middle, the 0 attack speed, but it's at 127 on the cap. And also, like I'll mention for all of these, the ethereal versions will have slightly less requirements, and they will definitely have more damage. So the ethereal versions are more sought after, but they are much more rare to get, obviously. So So anytime you want to have the best possible base for a possible item to make the best possible version of that, they're always going to want to be ethereal for an Act 2 mercenary, or really any mercenary weapon specifically, but we're talking about the Act 2 mercenary because they do not lose durability on mercenaries. Alrighty, now we're hopping over to spears, and really, I'm going to be honest, there's only one that I really ever hear spoken about as far as a base option for your Infinity. And that base is this one right up over here. That is the Man Catcher, and generally if you're going to make Infinity, it's incredibly expensive. It's got those 2 burr runes in it, so you're going to want to make it in probably an elite ethereal base if possible, so you're going to go with the ethereal Man Catcher. Now Phil, what in the heck, why would people argue for an item that doesn't even have 100 damage on it? That's insane. After it gets ethereal it's going to, but why would it has such low damage? All of those polearm bases have
Please
well
follow,
over 100, some
subscribe,
in
and
150,
like the
and if
stream,
you scroll
thank
down
you.
here, a war pike actually has 100, almost 180 damage on a non-ethereal type right here. Why in goodness would people go with the Man Catcher? Well, the reason is this -20 right over here. It's the fastest attack speed that you can get on one of these elite versions of weapons, and along with the most damage. So the reason why you want to have that increased attack speed, which I mentioned before, and this one's even higher than those other ones, is to get Crushing Blow to proc even more, because Crushing Blow takes off a percentage of the monster's health. So when you're going against bosses, maybe you're even going against Ubers and stuff, it'll actually chop off like many tens of thousands of life, because those elite giant bosses, you know, the Ubers and things like that, have so much health. And this doesn't, Crushing Blow doesn't take off a certain amount of damage. It takes off a percentage of the remaining health that they have. So people will argue that this base is the absolute best and an absolute must. And if you want to pay the big bucks, the premium, you get the ethereal superior version. I would say if you are making Infinity, and we are talking about spears here, you at least want to wait to get at least an ethereal base, because it is kind of a large boost on the base damage. But we'll talk about a little bit now that I will give you my definitive response for what the absolute undisputed perfect base is that you should use when making your Infinity. Now, as far as insight goes, because you have to do it in a polearm and you're looking for your endgame, whatever your endgame character is. Which one of these do you pick? Not that one, not the Ogre X. I know it's Ogre X. Just a joke. Because it can only have 3 sockets, remember? But yeah, any of these ones, just pick any one. It doesn't effing matter. It's one of the biggest gripes, I guess, with this argument about what is the best base. Who the F cares? First of all, if you're worrying about your mercenary killing stuff, that's your first problem. Why aren't you killing stuff with your character? The amount of damage output that your actual character should be doing should be so much more than what your mercenary's doing. It really shouldn't matter. Yeah, I guess getting at least an elite polearm base or something along those lines, you should be able to get without too much struggle. But if you're paying like high runes for a perfect enhanced damage ethereal base for your insight, you're having a little problem there. Unless you're just so crazy wealthy, you get lucky, find 12 burr runes in a day or something like that. I would not waste a single brain cell thinking or worrying about, oh, what if I calculate out the attack speed with the Crushing Blow and blah, what is this doing? No, just get your insight in an elite base. Maybe if you get lucky enough to find an ethereal base, plug one in there. But I don't even worry about that usually, unless, like I said, I happen to come across it. You honestly will not notice a gameplay difference between an ethereal Thresher, between an ethereal Great Poleaxe, between an ethereal CV, Cryptic Axe. You're not going to notice a difference between any of these. Your mercenary does not do hardly anything except for carry around your meditation aura and then whatever aura that Act 2 mercenary comes with inherently. Now, switching over to the Infinity, which base should you choose? Now here I'm going to go into a little bit more specific. Any one of these that is ethereal, and that's only because if you're making a rune word that's that expensive, make sure that it is ethereal, just because, I mean, if you're going that far, making that expensive of a rune word, you could at least step up the base a little bit. Because at that point, I'm guaranteeing you're going to find a 4-socketed polearm before you find 2 burr runes. But once again, even with Infinity, you're not going to feel any difference in gameplay. I guarantee you I could go into your account if you have a perfect 15% enhanced damage ethereal Thresher, and I pull that off and put on a regular Thresher, you are not going to notice a difference. If I pull off that Superior Thresher Infinity and I throw on a Colossus Volge Infinity, I promise you, 100%, 1,000 bazillion gagillion percent, you're not going to notice a difference at all. You're going to be much better off using that rune value that you're trading for that perfect superior base and using that to make upgrades for your actual character to have more kill speed that way, because your mercenary really isn't killing much of anything. Now, Diablo 2 Resurrected has a cube recipe where if you have a normal level item or exceptional item, you can go ahead and use this cube recipe to upgrade it to the next one higher. Now, there's some great instances and great reasons to do this. One example is the gold wrap. Now, by upgrading it, you can get more defense, you can get more damage, or in the case of a belt, you do get more defense, but you also get more belt slots in order to put potions in. So this is an absolutely amazing reason I would highly recommend, if you're going to use a gold wrap on your character, to go ahead and upgrade it. But sometimes people can overlook the unintended consequences of upgrading an item. It sounds all good in theory, hey, you're getting more defense, but it can cause you some major problems. Now, there are some items that I would recommend for the average Diablo 2 player you never want to upgrade. Now, of course, I'm going to leave the most controversial ones to the end. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to lead off with it, so haters, get ready to blow up the comment section, because that is, for the average Diablo 2 player, I would always recommend. Now, Diablo 2 Resurrected has a cube recipe where if you have a normal level item or exceptional item, you can go ahead and use this cube recipe to upgrade it to the next one higher. Now, there's some great instances and great reasons to do this. One example is the gold wrap. Now, by upgrading it, you can get more defense, you can get more damage, or in the case of a belt, you do get more defense, but you also get more belt slots in order to put potions in. So this is an absolutely amazing reason I would highly recommend, if you're going to use a gold wrap on your character, to go ahead and upgrade it. But sometimes people can overlook the unintended consequences of upgrading an item. It sounds all good in theory, hey, you're getting more defense, but it can cause you some major problems. Now, there are some items that I would recommend for the average Diablo 2 player you never want to upgrade. Now, of course, I'm going to leave the most controversial ones to the end. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to lead off with it, so haters, get ready to blow up the comment section, because that is, for the average Diablo 2 player, I would always recommend, do not upgrade your Titan's Revenge.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Now, of course, I'm going to give you the reasons that some people may think, or in certain very rare, very uncommon circumstances, they do want to upgrade Titans. And that's because you do technically get a little bit more physical damage when you go ahead and upgrade it. So of course, if you are a physical damage dueling Amazon, I suppose that could be a reason. Now also, if you are dealing more physical damage when you throw your Lightning Fury, the actual monster that the initial hit actually comes in contact with, it does do a small amount of physical damage. So if you're leeching life or mana, if you deal more physical damage, you leech back a percentage of the amount of physical damage you do. So you do technically leech slightly more life and mana if you have a higher damage on your base weapon. But I would tell you, take a look at the dexterity and the strength on this of 109 and 25. Now let's go ahead and upgrade it. Once you get it upgraded, you see the dexterity jumps up to 151, and the strength is at 107. Now the strength, maybe it's not going to be the worst problem, because I would say a vast majority of the time people are using some sort of Monarch on the offhand, whether it's the Spirit Shield or whether it's the Phoenix Shield. But 151 to dexterity is incredibly high, and each point you put into one of these strength or dex is points you can't put into your vitality in order to go ahead and save yourself and keep yourself alive. That's why I make the argument, if you're going to be using Titan's Revenge, if you're just an average Diablo 2 player, you're going to be out there farming cows, throwing your Titans, and absolutely melting the cows, even with them just being ceremonial javelins. You really do not want to take the time. You don't want to waste the runes. You don't want to add the stat points into dexterity in order to go ahead and upgrade these. Next one I'm coming at you with is one that I really don't see upgraded very often, but someone might have it in their mind, hey, maybe I could get a little bit more defense and that could help me out. And that is upgrading Mage Fist. Now right here, they only have a strength requirement of 25, but yeah, their defense is only 24. Of course, these are for casters, so casters usually either don't have very much strength at all, or they get up to the 156 in order to use the Spirit Monarch. So let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and double upgrade these right here. So the first one comes up to 88 strength. Sure, I guess you could go ahead and do that, but we just used a few runes there that we either would have had to trade for or go ahead and find. And the defense went from 24 to almost 70.
Wow.
So, I mean, what is that, 45 extra defense? It is really almost no benefit at all, but let's go ahead and upgrade it again. Maybe we'll get even more defense. You see here, we're actually using a Lem rune and a Co, of course, with the diamond, and we're up to 88 defense. Impressive. So now we have 88 defense mage fists right here, and we have 24 defense here. And we wasted several runes, including probably the one that's the hardest to get and the most valuable, the Lem rune. Not the craziest hardest, but still, why would you waste a Lem rune to get 50, 60 something defense? What is the point here? So that's why, in my opinion, this is another terrible example of an item to go ahead and upgrade. So let's go ahead and stick with another unique item that is specifically for the glove slot or the caster. And these are actually Frostburns. Generally, these are kind of only for the energy shield Nova sorcerers, but there are some other ones that need more mana. Now, right off the bat, we have almost 50 defense here. Depends on the defense roll, I suppose, but 60 strength requirement. That's going to be important to look at. So we'll go ahead and upgrade this, throw our Tal and Shall in here along with the perfect diamond. So more materials that you use for crafting or making a rune word of some kind. Nothing super expensive here, of course, but I will point that out. So we're jumping up from 48 defense to 84. So another like 40 or 50 defense.
What?
If you're the average Diablo 2 player, just soft core ladder or something, this is going to be literally meaningless for you. But we'll go ahead and up it again. We're wasting another Lemon Co if you're going to double upgrade this. Now we have 105 defense. So we jumped from roughly 50 to roughly 100. Damn! That defense, like I said, is going to be imperceivable to pretty much any normal Diablo 2 player. Once again, wasting those same runes that we could go ahead and make rune words with, or even a very usable Lem rune to make your first treachery, or to trade away for better gear to upgrade a different slot. Now, incredibly, probably the worst reason to upgrade these, if you went all the way to the highest one, Ogre Gauntlets. Bet you didn't know you guys have been pronouncing that wrong the whole time. It's actually Ogre, not Ogre. It has 185 strength requirements, so even if you're using a Spirit Monarch, you have to add an extra 20 points on top of it, well 19 anyways, to go ahead and wear these. That would be the astronomical, most stupidest thing to ever do, wasting a Lem rune, adding way more strength into there. And even if you upgraded it just to the second round, if you ever wanted to go ahead and wear these along with wielding a Self Infinity, you have a much lower strength requirement than when you are doing something like a Crescent Moon and a Spirit. So you'd have to pump a bunch more into strength that you wouldn't need for any other reason. So man, there is just so many reasons to not ever upgrade Frostburn Gauntlets if it's an item that you're using on your sorceress. There's not a whole lot of other characters that use Frostburn, so that's why I'm specifically concentrating on that one. Now we're jumping from the gloves over to the boot slot, and we're going to start off with another very low level unique, a normal level unique right here, and this is going to be the Goblin Toes. These are used a lot of times on like smiters or different melee characters for that 25% chance of crushing blow. A lot of people will use something like Gore Riders that I believe it is 15 and 10 for crushing blow and open wounds. Maybe it's flipped the other way. I'd have to take a look and to see, remember exactly what it is, but 25% crushing blow is the most you can get here on the boots. And some people might think you want to go ahead and upgrade this. So once again, we're throwing the Tal and Shell over here, nuking another one of those, and we're getting it up to 80 defense right here. So now we're at 80 from 32.
Yeah, boy.
And like I say all the time, regular soft core ladder players, or even if you're single player, just normal average Diablo 2 players, this amount of defensive change is going to be imperceivable. Like, you're not even going to be able to tell. So you're going to upgrade it. It's going from 50 to 95. A lot of times you'll have 95 strength, but you're just wasting the runes, wasting the time even doing it. But maybe you'd want to go ahead and double upgrade it to, boom, Mirrored Boots Goblin Toes. Now you have 114 instead of 32. It's not even really, what is that, 80 more defense? Big whoop, but you're up to 163 strength requirement. That is incredibly high for these boots, so that's why I recommend you really never want to upgrade these Goblin Toes. I know there is a rare example that I'd kind of seen about or read about where the kicks in, I suppose, gets more damage from boots if you upgrade them to the higher level. So this is another one of the boots here. I would recommend just don't worry about upgrading these. It's really not necessary. We're gonna go ahead and stick with the boots, and this is gonna be a Magic Finder special, so I use these all the time. That's actually the War Travelers. Now these are already the mid-level. These are battle boots, but you could upgrade them one more time to get them a lot more defense, right? Let's go ahead and see what they look like. Also, once again, just absolutely deleting another Lem rune and a Ko rune. If you really upgraded all of this stuff on your builds, man, you're flying through these things. So we'll go ahead and hit them with an upgrade, move them over here next to the other ones, and we actually jumped from 136 defense to 194. Like That just is astronomically seems not worth it. But of course, like you noticed on a lot of the other ones, a lot of these armors that you upgrade, you gotta watch that strength requirement. This one jumped from 95, very easy. Actually, on some builds, if you're Fist of the Heavens Paladin, 95 strength, this might be the highest requirement out of any piece of gear you're wearing across your entire build. Do remember, Pally shields have that much lower strength requirement, so if you're using like a Pally Spirit on your Fist of the Heavens Paladin, maybe even a Hammerden, this might be 95, the highest strength you need to get to. So over here, when you upgrade it, 163. Remember, on those Pally shields, I don't think any of them are up near the Spirit Monarch. So 163 on a Paladin is astronomically high, but even if you're throwing these on your Sorceress or on your Druid or whatever that is using the Spirit Monarch, you then actually have to put additional points into strength. You're losing that from Vitality, you're losing survivability in order to get 40 more strength, 50 more strength, whatever it is. Don't feel like doing the math right now. So using a Lemon to upgrade this in order to have to waste more strength points just to get a little more defense, I would highly recommend do not upgrade your War Travelers. Man, I'm really going hard on these boot uniques here today because we're coming at you with another one. I actually already mentioned it in the video and I stealth knew at the time it was coming, but I just didn't lead on to it. We're actually talking about the Gore Riders here. There it is with the 15, 15, 10 on the Crushing Blow, Deadly Strike Open Wound. Very common boots to use on melee characters. Now we'll go ahead and take a look at what these go ahead and get upgraded to. Once again, of course, nuking the Lemrune. We got all the way up to 189 defense. Whoa! Now, that's got to be way higher than it was before, right? Ooh, 159 to 189. So that's 30 more defense using a Lemrune and raising the strength requirement from 94 up to 156. Depending on what build, type of build, what you're doing, whatever. Do you even have 156 strength on your character, so you're putting more strength onto it, which I guess these are melee boots. More strength will generally raise up your melee damage, but a lot of times you get more of your damage from things like Crushing Blow than you do actually from your physical damage that you raise by adding in more strength. Of course, it's going to be build dependent, but a lot of times that's how it goes. So you may be sacrificing more survivability of points you put into life in order to put a bunch of points into strength in order to get 30 defense. That's why, unless there's some incredibly off example that, you know, I'm not mentioning at this very moment, like I said on the other boots like the Kixin, there's a reason you might want to get the extra damage from upgrading them. There's really none of the normal circumstances the average Diablo 2 player is going to be in. Do you actually want to upgrade your Gore Riders? All right, I feel bad. I'm picking on the boots a lot. Let's jump to the belt slot now of one you really don't want to upgrade. You can probably, the veterans probably guessing what it is already. We're talking about Thunder God's Vigor. Now this is a war belt, it's the mid-range belt, so it already has 12 belt slots. So unlike the gold wrap, when you'd upgrade it, you go from only having 2 rows to having 4 rows of potions. This one already has 4 rows. Also notice the strength requirement is already 110. So you can imagine, once we go ahead and upgrade this, nuking our Lemon Co once again, you have 185 strength requirement. In my opinion, that's just way too high, getting yourself 35 whatever defense it is. Also, I didn't really mention it on the other ones here, but notice depending on what level you are, this is going from being required level 47 to use to being required level 74. Now, if you're anything endgame player, you're going to be level 74, but man, imagine being like a level 68 Amazon or something and you upgrade this and you're like, oh no, now I just lost all that damage from the 3 to Lightning Fury and even the Lightning Absorb on it. Or if you're a low budget smiter or something and then you upgrade it and then you can't use it either because of the strength requirement or the level requirement. So because of all the similar reasons as for a lot of them nuking the Lemrune that you could use to trade for stuff, the incredibly high raising of the strength and level requirement, really, unless there's some incredibly small that I'm overlooking reason or build that you need to go ahead and upgrade your Thunder God's Vigor to a Colossus Girdle, don't upgrade this one, fellas. Well, I did say I was putting the most controversial at the start, but let's get everybody's panties all twisted up in a bunch here at the end as well, because here's another one that for almost everybody, you don't really want to worry about upgrading this one right here, specifically for the Paladin, and that's actually the Herald of Zakaru. Now, one of the good things about Paladins is a lot of the shields have a lower strength requirement, a lot of good shields too. Here, this one only has a strength requirement of 89, but you can go and upgrade it, and right now we have a defense of 504, which you can look at in a second. So we went from a defense of 504 to a defense of 519. Yeah, Does that help you out a lot, fellas? I would say no. On top of that, look at how the requirements changed. We went from 42, level 42 and a strength of 89 to a level requirement of 68 and a strength requirement of 142. So definitely 100%, like there's no question about it. If you were a Fist of the Heavens Paladin or a Hammerden, you never want to go ahead and upgrade this for 15 defense? And then the requirements are so much higher, you're gonna have to use so much more strength. Man, you really don't want to. Now, there could be an argument for, if you're a smiter, you do get more smite damage out of it. But to be perfectly honest, almost all when you're smiting away of your damage is coming from like crushing blow. Then usually if you are using something like a Herald of Zakarum, you're getting all that plus damage from your grief, because the way that damage applies, it's really crazy. It's kind of hard to explain even. So really your smite damage on this is almost pointless. It's really just crushing blow and that 340 to 400 or whatever the roll is on a grief added damage. So there really is very little to no reason for, in my opinion anyways, to upgrade the Herald of Zakarum. If you got an example of any other unique items you think it's a huge mistake to upgrade, let me know down in the comment section. Hey, like and subscribe before you go. You know the drill. Peace out and keep slaying.
Please like the stream, thank you.
So in Diablo 2 Resurrected, sets really aren't used hardly at all. But notice I said hardly. Some of the set pieces and even the full sets are used sometimes. Now, these are the only set pieces in Diablo 2 Resurrected that I believe the average Diablo 2 player needs to know about. Now, real quickly before we jump in here, do let me know down in the comments if there's anything else that you like to use or something you maybe think I forgot about. But remember, this is pieces that the average Diablo 2 player would actually use. I'm not talking about a build that, you know, would take like 60 high runes in order to make, or some super obscure like level 9 sorceress melee only PvP build or something along those lines. These are items the average Diablo 2 Resurrected player need to know about. Well, you might recognize what we're looking at right here, and this is actually probably the best full set in all of Diablo 2 Resurrected. This is full Tal Rashas. And also, I do got to mention a little bit towards the end, there's actually some individual pieces that are good to use on their own. Now, this full set includes the Tal Rashas Lidless Eye, we got Tal Rashas Herodric Crest, that's the helmet, we got Tal Rashas Guardianship, that's the body armor, of course, we got Tal Rashas Fine Spun Cloth, obviously talking about the belt, and Tal Rashas Amulet. Now, this is a good sorceress amulet, even without using the entire set. There's a ton of sorceresses, especially early on in ladder, that use this Tal Rashas amulet. You can actually fight it pretty early, even in like Nightmare, but it's actually really good just on its own for sorceresses. Another great piece to use on its own is actually the mask up here, but it's not great to use on its own on a sorceress. It's actually great to use over here on your Act 2 mercenary early on. Now, you can tell it doesn't really look like a caster's helmet right here. You got mana and life leech. I mean, your mercenary doesn't need to leech mana, but that 10 life leech is crucial on a mercenary to keep them alive. Other things to keep that mercenary alive: 60 to life, and what is also huge on a mercenary early on, that 15 to all resistance. These things are actually kind of expensive the first few days or the week of ladder. Eventually people get their Andaro's Visages or make their Cure Helm or some other options, so these kind of drop down in price and they're easier to get your hands on. But really, no matter what, this is a dang good option for that Act 2 mercenary. One important thing to look for when you get this set, the 2-2-2 on the lightning, cold, and fire masteries. Now, they can be 1 to 2, and it's not going to be the end of the world. Definitely use it, but that is kind of like the perfect roll on the orb. It's going to be very important. First, we'll go over what the full set is, and this is what makes it so good on the sorceress. It's just absolutely amazing set, I'm going to be perfectly honest. 3 to Sorc skills. We got 50 to all res down there, 65 to magic find. That's kind of the most noteworthy things for the full set bonus, but notice the partial set bonuses there in green. Another Sorc skill, -2, 15 to lightning and fire, and plus to the cold skill damage, which I'm very glad they made that plus, because you get so much minus from the cold mastery already. You don't need any more, so that's a very smart thing to add there. You can see the mask doesn't get any other partial set bonus, but awesome to get an extra 10 FCR here on the armor, and great. Look at all those resistances, look at all that magic find. The armor by itself is also great. Looking down at the belt, we get another 10 FCR. So Arachnid's Mesh, you'd usually get 20, but hey, you can make up some FCR here, you make up some there on the armor. You get some dex to go ahead and maybe equip stuff or go ahead and get your block rate up. 15 in Magic Find never hurts either. Also cool to get here up on the amulet. Kind of like a caster amulet, you get another 10 FCR up here. So it makes you able to reach those breakpoints to make the sorceress very good with these Tal Rasha's pieces. So in general, the armor is one of the harder ones to get, and it's kind of one of the most valuable, but early on in ladder, the amulet is incredibly valuable before people start crafting a ton and getting way more 2 to Sork skills amulets that way. But keep your eye out for these Tal Rasha's pieces. Next up, we're going to take a look at the set for the Necromancer, and you absolutely can use the full set, but quite often it is not because people find it more beneficial to just use a 3-piece set. And that we're talking about the Trangul set. Now the 3 pieces that we are using, you can see right here is the head, but this is going to be like the shield right here. We got down here on the Trangul's girth, that's the belt, and the Trangul's claw, which is of course the gloves over here. The gloves by themselves, great, used on a ton of caster builds, but for the Necromancer you get 2 curses. Helps you out a tiny bit. Curse is not the most important, but you get 20 FCR. It's got 25 poison skill damage, so on a poison necro, man, you gotta go with these, right? The cold res also good to get right there. Over on the belt, super clutch, super important on the belt, cannot be frozen. Now casters can kind of get away without having cannot be frozen. It's mandatory on melee characters, so sometimes even barbarians will use this Trangul's belt in order to get cannot be frozen, because you don't want to have to necessarily maybe throw on a Ravenfrost to get the cannot be frozen, because you get cold damage, body shatter, you can't use find item. But also important to know, you get more reses right here too. You get 40 more cold, you get that 50 mana and 66 to life. Those help you out of course as well. But the big shebang is what you're going to see on the shield, aka the Cantor trophy over here. Look down at the bottom, the little green words right there. Minus 25 to enemy poison res. Minus res when it goes towards the element that you're actually casting is so incredibly powerful in Diablo 2 Resurrected. It's hard to understate. So this is kind of one of the biggest reasons even people with their end game, like when they have their gear set exactly the way they want it, they'll use this really cheap 3-piece partial set on their poison necros. Now besides just the minus 25 poison rest, you could go ahead and stick a fast and get that up even a little bit higher like you see right here, but it also gets 2 to poison and bone skills, you get increased block chance, 25 strength, 15 dex. You got fire and poison res on there as well. So this 3-piece set is really great. Now there are a few more pieces for the Trang set, and you can go ahead and do the full set and you turn into one of the ghouls, I believe they're called, and you know, it's a little bit different, it's a little bit strange. Some people don't like it, some people do. It's going to be up to you whether you really want to use the full Trangs, but I'm going to be honest, probably 90-95% of the time from what I see, what I hear from other people, this 3-piece Trang set, the head, the belt, and the gloves is what everyone goes to on their poison necros. So you might notice we're still on the Necromancer, but we swapped some stuff around and actually threw on a set piece that I believe you need to be knowing about. And this one is actually crucial at the beginning of ladder or the beginning of single player. And we're actually talking about a staff, shockingly enough. Nadge's Puzzler. Now the most crucial thing for this is kind of only on the offhand. You kind of swap back to your main hand when you're attacking, but when you want to move around faster, you obviously don't have Enigma right at the beginning of ladder. Well, look down there, level 11 teleport charges. You have 69 charges.
Nice.
Now this is one I actually want to show you because I've actually done this before, and this is why I want to bring it to your attention and make sure you know about it. Now, if you don't have Enigma early on, which of course you're not going to, right? You can go ahead and use this, and I'm going to be careful because, I mean, this character isn't really set up to be slaying monsters in a Chaos Sanctuary like this. But with the number of charges you have on this, you can go ahead and teleport around literally the entire Chaos Sanctuary as if you had yourself an Enigma. It's absolutely crazy. This number of charges, you can see it going down over there. We're in the 40s. You can teleport around the whole thing, bing, bang, boom. So I'm just kind of doing it just to show you you can cover the whole area. You can reposition your mercenary, you can reposition your summons and stuff, and you can go ahead around the entire Chaos Sanctuary. See right there, usually it ends up with 10 or 20 charges left there on the staff. But another thing I will note to you, if you go ahead and have this, go ahead and repair it, 84,000. If you use all the charges, it's going to cost you like 110,000 per run. So right here, you can see I have full inventory of skillers. You're not going to want to have that. You want to have open space to pick up orbs and wands and different scepters and things like that that can roll with skills on it, because those can be worth like up to 35k, and pick up different armors like body armors, because those high level elite bases for armors anyways, quite often even the mid-level ones are 35k. So you want to make sure you pick up items that total up to at least like 100,000 per run so you can repair this. So I beg you, do not sleep on the budget enigma, Nage's Puzzler. So next up, we're taking a look at our Barbarian here, but we're taking a look at a glove piece. And this is not a full set, not even a partial set, but this is just one individual piece for a particular set that is used all the time on a ton of melee characters. The Barbarian is just a fill-in for really any melee character, and that is Laying of Hands, Brambled Mitts. Now this thing really has 3 things that hugely help you out. First of all, 20 increase attack speed. If you're any melee character, that's obviously going to help you out. A massive, and I say massive, 350% enhanced damage to demon, and also a crucial 52 fire res. Fire res in hell difficulty, I probably don't need to warn you about this. It can absolutely melt you, making it up right there. Great spot to get there on the gloves. Now in Diablo 2 Resurrected, all the act bosses, they're all demons. And as for the other monsters in the game, geez, I don't know, probably 50, 60, 65% of the monsters are demons as well. So this enhanced damage to demons, it's a huge amount, and it helps you out in a ton of different places. One thing about right here too, there's not really a lot of other great options. There could be some rare gloves that you could get leech on and some resistances and a few other things, but not a whole lot of stuff that's going to help you out as much as this increased attack speed along with that huge damage to demons. So this one kind of falls in here by default for a lot of melee characters, Laying of Hands. So if you ever plan on rocking any melee character, make sure you don't forget about this one. Now it looks like we're on the same character and I didn't really move, and that's because I didn't. There's another thing on this Barbarian, another thing that's great for melee characters that's absolutely crucial to know about, and that is the Angelic set. But I mean, it's just some low-level set. What, the sword has like 2-day damage on it or something? Well, you don't want to pay attention to that stuff, because actually you want to take a look at what we call the dual Angelics, and when they say that, they're talking about both the amulet up here, which with the partial set you get 75 to life, you see right there, 3 to light radius, 20% goes to mana. What's the big deal about that? Well, it's actually what more so comes on the ring, and that is based upon character level. You get over 1,000 attack rating. It's going to be dependent on how high a level your character is, but it can go all the way up over 1,000 attack rating. And right here is one that I think I'm going to go ahead and show you in action. We'll just battle order up and we'll go ahead and whirlwind out here. Now you see we're hitting a few hit, and yeah, we're hitting some stuff, but you know, we're actually missing quite often too, as you can see. Let me go ahead and reset and throw the ring and amulet on. And now that those are equipped, you actually land way more shots. As you can see going across, you can see the flash, flash, flash as we hit. And you actually see a lot more shots that are landing because we have so much more attack rating. Now the build's not set up perfectly. Actually ran out of mana, but you actually land way more blows because that attack rating, we can go ahead and pull it off and put it back on, and you can see what the difference is between the number of hits you make and what you don't. So here with the whirlwind damage, we have the attack rating, 89% chance of landing a blow. Once we take this stuff off, that goes down to 71%. So that is actually a huge difference that absolutely boosts up your kill speed, your clear speed, boosts up the amount of DPS you put out. So if you're ever on any melee characters where you need to worry about landing blows, if you're playing a Zealer, if you're rocking like Whirlwind like I'm doing right here, or maybe even Frenzy, think about using that dual Angelics. Now here we are back on the Sorceress, and a ton of characters, not just the Sorceress, but if you're talking about the Hammerden, if you're talking about a Wind Druid, you probably are going to be using a Spirit Monarch. Look at the resistances down there. You have 35 to cold, lightning, and poison. But there is one glaring missing resistance right here, and that is Fire Res, a place that people always go ahead and make this up, is down at the boots, and that is why you never want to forget about Alder's Advance. Now you can run incredibly fast with these because the 40 walk run, they got 50 to life, but the most crucial thing, you make up that fire res that you don't have on that Spirit Monarch. Now you could make that fire res up with some rare boots that had the res on it and stuff too, but actually these are absolutely clutch, and you're probably more likely to get the fire res on these and the randomness of rolls to get on something like a good set of rare boots. So these Alder's boots are used a ton of times on these type of builds. Now remember, this goes with almost every caster that uses a spirit. You can throw these on, so there's definitely different types of assassins, trap assassins, that maybe you're rocking Heart of the Oak and the Spirit, maybe you're rocking the Hammerden, maybe you're rocking the Fist of the Heavens Paladin, any of the different Sorceress builds, Blizzard, Fireball, Lightning perhaps. So any of those ones that you're using Spirit on, you're probably going to want to use these older advanced to go ahead and make up that fire res. Of course, if you're doing any fire builds and you do have a fire sunder charm down here as well, you can make up that fire res as well over here on the boots. Now these can roll up to 50. I forget the minimum. Is it 25 or 30? Can't remember off the top of my head. But you want them to roll as close to 50 as possible. So now we're going to slide in at you with some honorable mentions, because these are ones that maybe the average person doesn't have to know about, but maybe you're going to play for a little bit longer, get a little more advanced, and you want to maybe try some different builds, maybe try some of these sets out. They're not going to be putting the hammered into shame or anything like that, but all these other pieces can be used in some certain circumstances that maybe just above the most casual player would want to know about. And you're looking right here, that beautiful gold glow. We're talking about the full Immortal King set. Now, testing this build out kind of semi-recently in the last few years, it's a little bit better than I even remember. You can see the full set, 3 to barb skills, you get attack rating, life, all res, a bunch of great stuff there, but the partial set bonuses here, especially look at the armor right there. Fire, lightning, cold, you get some more hit recovery there too. A ton of great partial set bonuses there on the armor. Up on the helmet right here, you don't get any partial set bonuses, but really, you can kind of stack up good magic find on here if you wanted to. You can go ahead and stick some Isrunes up in there to get the magic find, or some topazes, and it's already got 40 magic find on it already. And then you jump down to the boots, and actually, as a partial set bonus, you actually only need 2 set pieces to get the 25% magic find on the boots too. So there is actually an opportunity to wear just on your Barbarian the Immortal King's helm and the boots to get 25 magic find here, and then you're throwing 24 magic find per topaz, so you're talking about 88 magic find on the helmet, I believe, if my math is correct, just for those 2 pieces. But here we're actually rocking the full set, so we actually get a couple combat skills down here as well. The boots by themselves to get you to run real fast with a 40 walk run and 44 to light. Taking a look at the belt, you know, you get some okay stuff here for the partial set. You already get lighting and fire res and strength. All great stuff to have when you're a melee character and when you're the barbarian, getting more strength like that. Over on the gloves here, you get dual bleach. We got mana and life, so great to get that. You get increased attack speed, and it's not always great to have cold damage or any freezing target on a barbarian, because then the body shatter can't use find item, but it does slow down the characters you then hit, so maybe adding a little safety, you do get 2 to freeze his target. Now on the maul, you get a bunch of different elemental damages. I guess that does help you out, deal a little bit more damage, but it really doesn't help you out too much. But pretty cool that just on the maul in general, 250 damage to undead, 200 to demons. It's already got 200 enhanced damage. It's got 40 increased attack speed. You do get 2 open sockets there, which I have nothing in, but you could go ahead and boost that up with some jewels, with some runes, or whatever you end up putting in there. And awesome that it also gets 40% there, crushing blow. I believe that rolls within a range. 40 is probably perfect. So we'll just test it super quick out here at Eldritch and Shank, and this is actually utilizing the Angelic's partial set that I was talking about a minute ago too. So as you can see, you're landing blows, you're poisoning everything. You can see the static shooting out there, or not the static, but the lightning, excuse me. So see, it's not like the best, it's not the hammered in, it's not the, you know, next most powerful build in the game, but it absolutely does work pretty good. And consider melee characters tend to fall behind or lag here in Diablo 2 Resurrected. I think it works okay. If you want to try something a little bit different and you want to utilize full sets, you can take a look at the full Immortal Kings. Next up for the honorable mentions, we're taking a look at another full set that, once again, when I tested it out after some of the changes in Diablo 2 Resurrected, I will mention that a lot of the sets got different boosts and stuff from Diablo 2 LOD 2 Resurrected. This one was, once again, better than I expected. And, if you haven't guessed it already, judging by the silver and the glow, we're taking a look at the full Mavina set. And you can go ahead and glance at the full set there. Bonus in the gold, 100 magic find, 50 to all resistance, strength dex, 3 to Amazon skills. So you can go ahead and get all of that. What a boost right there. 100 magic find, I love to see it. Up here to Mavina's diadem, the partial set, you actually get a skill attack rating to land more shots, and 25 all resistance. The diadem doesn't really have a whole lot of other stuff on there to help you out. Over on the bow, you get a couple of skills. Once again, not really a ton to help you out over here. The 40% increased attack speed probably is the biggest boost there. Down in the gloves is actually one thing that kind of steers this build into one direction and helps out the damage quite a bit. You see it adds 20 to the cold skill damage. So that's the route that I would recommend you go if you use this full set. As for a partial set, you go ahead and pull off a few pieces, bang one piece, and you lose the cold skill damage. So unfortunately, if you kind of want to use this build, just in my opinion, you kind of got to use the full set. And just a note, I did decide to utilize this other set piece I already mentioned you to take a look at, Alder's Advance, but let's hop out to a cold area, a place that's good for cold builds, and show you how good this one works. Now here we're hopping in the Stony Tombs, great for cold and fire builds. Now it would do even more damage if you actually had an infinity over the mercenary. I just went with insight, and this is just players 1, but you see 1 or 2 arrows just nukes these monsters down in an 85 area where you can find every single unique in the game. Just a couple of shots right here, bing bang boom, down these monsters go, man. Now definitely if you do get the more expensive rune word, the infinity there on the mercenary, players 3 is no problem at all. You can even do hires if you want to. I usually settled about on players 3 difficulty as the biggest balance between like fun to play and kill speed and reward and all that kind of good stuff. But you can see it does eat through the mana, so having some way to make up your mana, maybe chugging potions constantly could be the route you go. But yeah, you can kind of see how good this full Venus cold bow actually works, so keep an eye on it if you want to try out something a little different. So here we are, and wait, this looks just like the full Immortal King set. He's glowing gold. Well, actually, I don't want you to look at this guy. I want you to look at this guy hiding over here. My boy, Wetter. What a great name there on a mercenary. We're actually looking at the full Sazabi set on the Act 5 Mercenary. Now, if you didn't know, Act 5 Mercenary's got a boost up here in Diablo 2 Resurrected from the way they were in old school LOD. And this actually set works great here on this Act 5 Barbarian Mercenary. You can dual wield the sword. So actually I got a Sazabi's and a Sazabi's. You could just have the full set and then have something like an Azarath over here, or that other rune word that I just edited in here that you can see it has a sanctuary aura. It knocks back undead. One group that's undead that people really like using this for is the Desace group in the Cast Sanctuary. So if you're on the Cast Sanctuary, you can constantly knock them back and stun them. But look at what you get for the full set. He gets life leech, he gets all res, physical damage reduction, poison length reduced, increased maximum life. He runs super fast because of the 40% walk run you get from the full set right here. And also I am using the Frenzy Barb, so he is running mega fast. So you see there is no like partial set bonuses or whatever, but the sword swinging incredibly fast with a 40 increased attack speed. It also has, you see right there, it's similar to the Laying of Hands. 318% enhanced damage to demons, which there's a ton of demons in the game, including all of the Act bosses. Now we'll go ahead and out here and let's just see how he does against this group just kind of all by himself. He's just kind of swinging away. He's not going to be like world killer, world beater, taking out Uber solo with this particular build. But look at his surviving. He's sitting right in the middle, leeching back like infinity life, and he's at no risk. So he's taking all of like the force away from you, and he's taking all the beating, and he's kind of doing perfectly fine. This is a weak and an easy area, I suppose, so if you're in the Cast Sanctuary, you might have to babysit him a little bit more. You see, he killed a couple of monsters there, but yeah, against normal monsters, he's not really having much of a struggle. So that's the biggest thing. Your mercenary can stay alive and just tank for you for an incredibly long time. So don't sleep on this Sazabi set for your Act 5 mercenary if you want to once again try out something a little bit different. So this guy isn't glowing, but we actually do have a full set on him. But strangely enough, he's only level 25. But we are indeed using a full set, and that is full Saigons. Now people absolutely love throwing on this full set, not on an endgame character. This is not for endgame, but throwing it on for maybe your second character or third character for a playthrough, because you can just absolutely walk through the game with this incredibly powerful low-level set. If you don't see, required level on all these items is 6. Just only required level 6, so you can put this stuff on incredibly early. The one limiting factor is you see the strength requirement 70, 75, 63, 60, 60, and 70. That's pretty high for early on, so almost at level 6, I don't know if you can even get your strength up to level 70 at that point. But a little bit after that, eventually you can get it up to 70, and this set is incredibly powerful early on. Look at all the stuff, 24 to maximum fire damage. If you're in Act 1, 2, 3, that's actually a ton of damage, shockingly enough, early on in normal difficulty. That's from the full set. You got a bunch of life leech, you have fire res, you see the partial set bonuses there, attack rating, and 50 magic items. Actually quite a bit there on the booth. You got the walk run, the cold res, there's so much great stuff. Attacker takes damage of 20 at like level 6. 20 damage is a lot. The monsters are going to be hitting you, and sometimes it's dropping dead. Up here, 200 attack rating, so you're going to be landing a ton of shots. There isn't actually anything over here, but I mean, the shield's got 70% chance to block, well actually 69.
Nice.
And it's got 1 to all skills at level 6. Gloves a ton. 30% increased attack speed at level 6 on gloves. Now normally rare gloves or even the laying of hands only have 20. So if my brain's doing me right here, I think 30 increased attack speed is the most you can get on gloves in the entire game on this level 6 set. So if you ever find this stuff, maybe on your first playthrough, you're out there magic finding, trying to gear up your sorceress, and you have an idea that you may want to maybe play through the game by yourself or with some friends, and you want to kind of have some gear to kind of start out an absolute wreck, maybe you should start saving some of these Saigon pieces, and people are just going to be laughing at how you're wrecking.
Thank you for the follow, Lashamak.
Hey, thank you
Welcome,
for the follow.
Lashamak.
Thank you for the follow, Lashamak. I appreciate it. How are you doing, good?
Incoming at break.
How may I help you?
Stay a while and listen.
Oops. Not that it didn't do anything expected. Let me fix something. Okay. Alright, we're good. I think we're good. I put my mic on my headset, I think.
wrecking the playthrough. So let's say it's getting late in ladder, maybe the same build's getting a little boring, or you're on non-ladder, you've had this character forever. Now in Diablo 2 Resurrected, there is 3 main things that'll cause you to find more items and better items faster. Number 1 is running on a higher players count because the monsters will be more likely to drop an item than to not drop an item. Number 2 will be increasing the amount of magic find you have, causing them to be unique more often, hopefully being a Death's Web or something like a Griffin's Eye. Now number 3 is going to be your overall run time. That's going to include things like how long you're actually traveling through town, traveling through the wilderness, getting to where you actually want to farm, and your actual kill or clear speed. Now eliminating as much of that travel time as you can is going to be crucial to getting those run times way down, and that's what I'm going to show you today, some of the best maps that I've ever had and what you should look for to get your maps as good as possible and save as much time and get yourself out there finding even better gear faster. Now, first of all, on offline single player, what is rerolling a map and how do you do it? Just for an example here, I'm going to go ahead and expose this little part here. It's the part between the Bloodmoor and the Cold Plains. Now you see that it is actually exposed now on the mini-map in the upper corner. We're going to go ahead and save and exit. Now in order to change it, let's say you're looking for a particular type of map and you don't want that one, just go ahead and take your character and go to any other difficulty than the one you want to actually farm. And then go ahead and just save and exit and go back to the difficulty you actually do want to farm. When we go ahead and head out to that same Cold Plains waypoint, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about here. Actually, in town even changed. Once you jump out there, you see it is no longer exposed. But we do know that once we get the path right here, Flavy is going to be right up here, and now you can see this area is exposed. Now, this isn't where we want to farm. This is just an example of how to actually re-roll the map in order to go ahead and look for and search for the exact map seed and the type of map, the map that's looking the way you want it to farm up quick. Now on this map I just rolled for the Warlock, we came across the very first thing that you kind of are hoping to look for, and that is a very easy to get to right here, Forgotten Tower, and this is to head down to the Countess. Now look how close this is to the waypoint. If you can manage to get this when running the Countess, this is going to shave a ton of time off, especially if you don't have Enigma yet or anything. Usually you don't run the Forgotten Tower before you have like Enigma on characters. Perhaps you have a sorceress so you can teleport, but even if you have a sorceress, that's one teleport jump over to where you need to go down to the Forgotten Tower to get down to the Countess. Now I will say on the Forgotten Tower there's a lot of different levels, so you're gonna have to pick and choose. It'll take you probably 5 years to get every single level absolutely perfect, but you want to maybe get the top to be good and then maybe like 2 or 3 of the levels on the way down to be super perfect. Any more than that and you're gonna have to be re-rolling maps too long, in my opinion, probably. Now what are we looking for on the way down to the Countess? Now right here we're looking at the mini map. You see the entrance where I came in right here, and then it's just over to here, and there's going to be a huge area up in there here where you're not going to want to go, not want to explore. Just turn left and find your way down. Now this isn't a perfect map, but if you have one like this, it's kind of okay. But I'm going to pull up some clips of ones that are even better. What you really want to look for is 2 tiles directly next to each other that are a direct left turn. Now like 90% of the time you just turn left on every one of these levels going down to the Countess, and you want to find one that's as quick as the ones I'm showing you right here. Like I said, you're probably not going to find all 5 levels to be that quick, but if you can have maybe the upper level, just finding the tower from the waypoint super close, and then 2 or maybe even 3 of them, that direct left turn on the way down, that's going to be a great map, shaving several seconds off of your time so you can get more runs per hour, get more runes, and more keys from the Countess. Next up on the way down to the Countess, and we'll start off by showing you something you don't really want to see, and that is this first level from the waypoint down is an astronomically far distance. Like that's like 200 million miles. You never want to see that. You know, on the next level here, we also don't have a very good map. It's actually all the way down over to here as well. So actually what we're going to want to go ahead and look for on this is from the waypoint, you just have to turn right to find the way down 90% of the time to the next level. You want it to be 1 teleport away from the waypoint. You can re-roll maps if you're going to be running Andy over a ton of time, or perhaps if you just see this as your map, maybe you want to go ahead and make yourself an Andy runner. But you just have to turn right, you want it to be a short corner, and then down to the next level. Once down to the next level, hopefully you can get one where the way down to the lowest level where Andy's at is right there next to you. Sometimes it's just a quick teleport backwards and it's right there, or maybe it's just like one tile away. That would be the optimal place. But if you can get that first one super close and then go ahead and maybe the second one just isn't too far away, that's one that I would settle on. I don't want to waste 3-4 hours trying to re-roll a map to go ahead and farm an area for 10 hours. At that point, it's not worth it. But if you can find something as good as some of the ones I just showed you there, that's what you're going to look for when you're farming Andy. Now, if you're a fire build just outside of Act 2, you can look for the Stony Tombs. Sometimes you got to teleport around way out here, and it can be real far. This can waste you a ton of time, especially if you're a fire druid without teleport or something. But if you don't want to teleport way out here, you can re-roll this map to hopefully get one instead of being way out here like this, right next to the entrance, which is absolutely crazy. But yeah, sometimes without too much difficulty, you can literally get the Stony Tomb right here as you walk out, and that is going to be an amazing time save for you. Now, yeah, it is awesome to have the one that's right outside of town, but perhaps if you got one that was just a little bit down the side of the map or not too far away, I would probably just settle on that. Because like I said, sometimes even though if you did roll it, you never know if the next time you roll a map, it's going to be that one right outside of town. But man, it is really boring re-rolling maps, and I don't want to waste my time doing too many boring things. So sticking in Act 2, if you want to go ahead and run the Ancient Tunnels, a classic one for the Blizzard Sorceress. Now you come out here and you got to teleport around till you find your way down. You got to find that little hatch. Now this can be pretty far once again, you know, just like everything else, it could be real far away. It might not be too far away. But what you want to do is hopefully, like some of the maps I've had in the past, have the Ancient Tunnels that I found right here actually right next to the waypoint. Just having to run around like this, just like every other time, can waste a ton of time. But if you can get it literally right next to the waypoint, sometimes it is just absolutely crazy, especially if maybe you want to get out there with, I don't know, a Frost Maiden or something like that, or the whole, you know, Frostboa, any of the builds where you don't have teleport inherently like the Sorceress. But if you can at least get one pretty dang close to the waypoint, it'll help you out a ton. Just popped out here to Lower Cross, and this is probably one of the most common maps to reroll, because if we go ahead and look at the map I have, there's one campfire and it's way down here. Now if you go ahead and you're running Lower Cross super chest farming and you're trying to find any high runes, having a map like this is no bueno, no good. It's going to be way too inefficient, and you're probably not going to find anything because it's just going to take you way too long. These are all about how fast you can get them done, and also you essentially mandatory have to have 2 campfires on the map in order to actually make it viable to run. So as you can see with this one, there's not even 2 campfires, there's just one. So I would reset this one instantly, wouldn't even think a second about it. But check out some of these maps I've had in the past. Now the closer to the waypoint these 2 particular tile sets are, the better, because you're having both of these campfires, bing bang boom, and then you want to go ahead and teleport back to the waypoint and go back to Act 4, because that way the waypoint is right next to you. You don't have to run the whole docks in Act 3. Getting this setup is going to be primo for the number of high runes you find per hour, or how many hours it takes you to find a high rune, I guess I should say. Now, depending on how much you want to sacrifice and the amount of time to re-roll a map, sometimes you could just go ahead and have them in a straight line, hit all of them, and then just go ahead and save and exit and run the docks. It's not the hugest end of the world. It depends how much time you want to devote to re-rolling maps. A lot of people don't like running Lower Kurast anyways. What's more boring than running Lower Kurast? Re-rolling your maps for 4 hours trying to get the perfect map. Next up is Mephisto here. So we're down to Durance Hate of level 2, and this is the best map right here on this character. So I don't even have to pull up any clips. This is the best map I've ever had. I've re-rolled 1 time and got this. It's crazy. I can't quite make the teleport in 1 teleport. It just goes to the wall. But from the waypoint, if I take like 1 step here and then teleport, I can get right down to level 3. This is the most bananas Mephisto map ever. And the amount of time you save having this as your map is just crazy. It's just crazy. I don't really have this character set up to run Mephisto, so just kind of showing you that. And let me just hit it one more time to show you at the speed you could run Mephisto if you're looking for this map. So really what I was looking for would be a quick left turn and have the way down right there. But sometimes 3 rights, you notice the map wraps around. That's how you would map read this particular one. Sometimes you can get this and it's crazy. You can find something similar at Andara as well. But you start to run and then teleport and you're down to Andara already. This Meph map, excuse me, I said Andy. I meant Meph. I'm so excited I can't talk right. This map is crazy, crazy, crazy. So look for something with it right next to either that quick left like I showed you a second ago, or this one right behind you. Another one that's slept on is right here, a map that you may want to have, and if you have this on single player, maybe you just want to go ahead and blast it real quick, and that is having a really good Thresh Shotgun map. Now the one right here isn't perfect, but the waypoint is very, very close here to Threshocket. Now Threshocket cannot drop everything that Pindle can, but he's kind of on the similar vein as Pindle, being a super unique, drops 2 items in the potions every time. So you can get some really good stuff. You can go ahead and find yourself a D-Web from out here at Threshocket. You can get yourself a Griffin's Eye. And, you know, in general, he's not the toughest one. He's like right there. You can also item find him with a barb. So if you get this good map like this, you can go ahead and come out to him standing right between these 2 torches right here with the barbarian, item find him as well. But if on a sorceress, because you can utilize the telekinesis skill, you can actually do Threshocket runs in something like 4 to 5 seconds per run. That's not counting the load screens. The load screens will actually be longer than the actual run itself. One last one, we're down to the Worldstone Keep, and this is running Bale. Nothing's worse than having a 70-mile away waypoint from the next way down. You're having to teleport through all these convicted souls and different things like that. All these succubi that are nuking you down. What you're hoping for is a quick right. Oh no, we don't have that, because once again from the waypoint here, it's going to be on the right side or turning right. Go ahead and find your way down. And this looks like the tragic map you do not want. What you want to look for is something more along the lines of the maps I'm showing you right here. That'll be the way down. Just a super quick right turn is absolutely what you want to look for. Once you're on the bottom, you don't know if it's going to be left or right or not, but you also want to have it close. Actually, this one on this sorceress is not bad. If you had a really good first map, I would definitely take the second map here for the 3rd level all day. All day I would take that. The bottom is, of course, always the same. But getting those first ones, just saving you time teleporting down to the bottom, is going to be great for you to get if you ever decide to run Bale. So one other crazy piece of gear I'm going to give you a tip on how to find is actually this sweet filled merch hat right here. All you have to do is head over to my merch store. We got things like the hat. We've got some pretty sick shirts. We got the ever popular D2R mouse pad. And in the future, I'm going to be updating this to Diablo 2 Reign of the Warlock. So if you want an original one, make sure you pick one of these up ASAP. So in Reign of the Warlock, they added in a new jewel, essentially an uber facet. It actually has even more minus res and plus damage on it, and several other things. Now, important to note, you can only have one of these in an item that is currently on your character at once. So you can't have all your gear stacked up. But if you want to go ahead and get these, you have to go ahead and take on the Colossal Ancients, or you can refer to them as Uber Ancients. So to go ahead and take on these Uber Ancients, there's actually a step before that you have to do, and that's go ahead and farm up these different statues. Now you get these by taking out an act boss, which is terrorized, and then there's a chance that they will drop one of these statues. Each one of these statues corresponds to a different act boss. You know, there's 5 of them, there's 5 acts. So yes, that means you actually have to go ahead and farm terrorized Duriel in order to get these statues to drop. Supposedly there is a rare chance where an act boss can drop a random statue, but in general, each act boss drops its corresponding statue. So if you want to go ahead and farm these up faster, make sure you stick around to the end of the video, because I'm giving you some huge tips and tricks to farm these up way faster, not just finding them by chance. And especially the Corlic one that you get from Duriel, you could farm this one 10 times faster with this trick. You think I'd show you this on a sorceress so I can teleport there super fast? Well, I'm not. I'm right here on my warlock here on ladder, and I'm not even using an enigma. But if you're going to do this, you want to at least get yourself a telestaff, or right here get yourself a mage's puzzler that can have 69 nice maximum teleport charges. Now, first of all, we'll simulate, terrorize, and Dariel, so we'll head down to Act 2. Now, the first thing you want to do is always turn right, or stick to the right wall. It depends on who you talk to, how they like to word it. So look at my map in the upper left-hand corner here. Right here is the entrance tile. The game is made up of tiles, so it exits this way. So right will be this way. So here we'll go ahead and do it. We'll teleport up, and we will stick to the right. As much as we can, we'll keep going to the right, and this will be the fastest way to take us to the next level. This does happen once in a while, so it's good to show you. The waypoint is right here. This was actually a 3 left map. Yes, on this game, technically, 3 lefts equal a right. Let's show you a map of how it's going to actually be like 19 out of 20 times. This is like a 1 out of 20 map. Now here we are. We got the same tile, and let's go ahead and head out and turn directly to the right. And boom, there's the way down. Like I said, this directly right, or at least on the right side here, if you keep going right, it'll be the fastest way to go, is literally like 19 out of 20 times. No matter what map it is, including this one or any of the ones in the future, if I say turn right, there is that rare chance, like 1 out of 20, that it could be the triple left map. So you just saved a bunch of time on the first level by just turning directly right, not having to explore the entire map. Now that you're down here, what's the trick? Unfortunately, I don't have a great one for you. It's mainly just guess and check on this level. So you just teleport around or whatever until you find where you need to go. Here's level 4, and I wish I had a better trick for you.
Oof, I just found Great sword. Where's my inventory? Oh, that's because...
I can't.
The Patriarch. Interesting.
Good evening.
Blessings to you.
For you. Once on level 4, 1 teleport here, 1 teleport here, and we're fighting Andariel and hoping for our statue. This, of course, isn't terrorized, so I'm not going to get it this time, but very important, if you're using this telestaff like I'm using right here, it's going to cost a lot to repair these charges. So grab this quarterstaff, grab these antlers, grab anything that you can get plus skills on. The most important ones, or the ones I like to grab the most to get as much gold for the least amount of space, are wands, sorcerer's orbs, and now daggers, because they can all go ahead and get yourself some skills on, and they sell for 35k easy. Now we're in Act 2 going after Duriel, and you might be wondering, if you're going after Duriel, why are you in the Arcane Sanctuary? Well, that's because there's actually a trick to know, even after you've completed the quest, which tomb Duriel is actually in. You actually teleport out to where the summoner is. Usually you'd have to go ahead and take out the summoner, open the book, the red portal to the Canyon of Magi's. But out there, you can actually tell where Duriel is. Once again, you are using teleport charges in this manner, so make sure you grab things that are worth gold to sell on your way back. So yeah, I guessed the wrong way. So on the way back, if I'm getting low on charges, sell a few items, repair my charges, and head back out. You hopefully want to get lucky and get the first way. You can go 4 different directions. But if you don't, you just got to try the rest of them. Hopefully you don't 4th way. There we go. We finally found him. I go ahead and take him out here too. Just hoping to get a key or something for farming torches as well. But then you go ahead and look at these glowing symbols that are floating around right here. Whichever one is missing, that's the tomb that Duriel's in. So we got the square, triangle, we got the 2 circles, the circle with the line under it, just the line under it, and the double down arrow. The only one we don't see is actually the sun emblem. This does take a little bit of memorization. You're gonna have to figure it out, but the sun emblem is not there. And of course, if you memorize these ones out here, we know the sun is directly straight up. There's the sun emblem. You can see it right on the side of this pillar right here. This is the tomb Duriel's in. If you like looking somewhere else, I will note it is actually at the top of every tomb, which exact emblem it has as well. So now you got to hop in here, and these tombs can be huge, and the one that Duriel's in is always the largest. So you just got to guess and check once again to find out where exactly is the way down to where Duriel's at here. Well, we found the orifice here, so we know we got to get into the hole. Wait a second. Out of context, that could sound wrong. But anyways, let's get in here and take out Duriel and hopefully get our statues. This is obviously simulating whether it was terrorized, but if it's terrorized, hopefully you get your statue. But hey, we actually found a G face on this one. Cool. Craziest thing there was not one teleport. Interesting. Now Act 3, we're going after Mephisto, and this one can save you a little bit of time. So if you take the entire map and you divide it in half, the way down is, in general, not always, this map is absolutely huge for level 2 of the Durance of Hate, but in general, it's going to be on the left half most of the time. This is not as often as the whole turn right, as far as it is getting to Andariel from the waypoint, but I would say probably at 70% of the time, it is on the left half of the map. Sometimes there's a triple right, sometimes it's even in the middle of the map, so it's incredibly annoying. But it's usually off to the left here where the way down is. And you can go ahead and teleport over here and take out Mephisto. And I will mention as well, most people know about this. It's called the moat trick. Maybe newer players might not know about it, but if you have any ranged character at all, you can go ahead and lure Mephisto over here. He's gonna run up there and face tank it, so if you don't want your mercenary or your summon to die, go ahead and don't bring them along with you. But you can go ahead and throw your weapon or cast from a distance. He will not attack you if you're out of range of his sight,
and you can still see him, but he can't really see you or attack you, so you can take him out with absolutely no fear of being attacked. Here we are in Act 5, moving after Diablo, and I actually have to explain this one a little bit before I go ahead and do it. It's pretty simple, but just a little explanation before it's going to make way more sense. So what we're going to do is we're going to teleport in there, and most people know you have to hit all 3 seals to go ahead and pop Diablo, but also on top of that, you do need to take out each one of the seal bosses. And once all the seal bosses are gone, every monster in the Cast Sanctuary that is currently spawned in will just poof, and they'll just drop dead, and they will actually drop items. The thing is, though, they drop items based upon if there was 0 magic find, so you're not going to really get a ton of uniques this way. You can absolutely do it, because you can find good uniques, Griffin's Eye, D-Web and stuff with 0 magic find, but people have been doing this for years. It's called seal popping the Cast Sanctuary to get rune word bases and high runes. So we're going to do exactly what I just said there. We're going to teleport around or run around and take out the seal bosses after popping the seals, but we're not going to take out any of the other monsters. We're just going to straight over here, hit the seal, take out Grand Vizier, and move on. We're going to head over to the other one where Lord Desace is going to spawn up. We'll pop the seal, come over here. Ooh, almost got right on my dome. This pack can take you out like it just ripped my mercenary. That can happen. So you got to be careful. Took them out, and here we go. On to the last one. Go ahead and hit them. Go ahead and hit this one. Teleport back over to here and take out the final seal boss. And this is how you can go through the Cast Sanctuary and get to Diablo way faster. Now, it depends how soon it had been since the last time you had seen a monster. I forget exactly how long it is. But some of these monsters, like the ones that are kind of like up the entranceway, you notice they didn't drop anything. It had been too long since we had seen them. But there could be some up here that actually had been too long since we've seen them as well. What you can do is teleport all around the Chaos Sanctuary super fast and then take out the last monster, and then they will all drop a bunch of items. That's kind of the seal pop trick to get the most. But if you don't want to do that, if you're in the biggest hurry, you want to get just Diablo's statue, like we're talking about in this video, you can do what I just did. Go ahead and take him out. So you can go ahead and take out Diablo in just under a minute easy, probably like 20 seconds if you're fast. So if you're spamming these terror zones and you want just the statue, you can do that for Diablo. Now we're going after Baal, and we're going to do the exact same thing we did in Act 1. Oh god, there's souls around here. Great. So here is the exit tile, and it's exiting in this direction right here. So down that way. I'm going to go this way and I'm going to turn right, or you can word it as always stick to the right. We're going to come out here, I'm pointing at my mini map and turning right. Now we got souls, cross your fingers that I don't die right here on the video. So we're going to go right, and once again, a majority of the time, this is going to be the way that you want to go. There was actually more right. I could have went up there, but I kind of missed it, but it's going way out here. And this is the thing, it's way out here to the right is way down to the next level. So that can save you a ton of time, and especially if you got to run around and kill a bunch of souls like that, you can avoid it by just teleporting with your telestaff to the right. Now, unfortunately, similarly to going after Andariel, you just got to guess and check on this level. I don't know of any way to really fully map read, easily anyways, where exactly you need to go. There are tiles that if you're a genius, you can remember, and you know this thing and that thing, it gives you an idea of where to go. But like here, I just guessed and checked, and I found my way down to the next level. Now, once you're down here, unfortunately, there is no quick way past the waves at Baal. You just kind of got to do them the way that everybody does them when they do Baal runs. You just take one out, take the other one out, take the other one out. There is technically a way to skip the waves, but it is not much faster than just fighting them with your super powerful warlock or whatever. Anyways, you can come down here and you wait and you go like this, and then it skips the wave, and then you can skip the next wave, and then you wait, and then skip the next wave. You do save a little bit of time with Baal wave skips, but I don't recommend that even for most people. You can kind of look up a full guide on how to do it. I can barely do it after like reading and looking at a guide on how to do it for like 20 minutes. I can barely skip one of like the 5 waves. I'm so inconsistent with it, and everyone says they're pretty hard, but unfortunately for Baal here, you just got to take the waves out as they come and then get after Baal. But at least that first level you come to, you can go ahead and turn to the right and get down past that level faster at least. Now, if Baal was terrorized, I'd be crossing my fingers and hoping to get one of those statues, or hey, maybe even something crazy a terrorist might. A Griffin's Eye, a D-Web, Death's Fathom. He could drop everything in the game for you. Very important thing, if you, under any circumstance, such as maybe single player, you're trying to bump up the players count to find these more often, let's take a look here at Andariel. This is the statue, and this is on Max Roll's drop odds calculator. If you go ahead and bump the players count up, this is 1 in 20 according to this drop odds calc. And as you move the players count up, players 3 is 1 in 14, and you bump it up, and when you get to players 8, 1 in 13. So maybe for the one from Andariel, it might be beneficial to go to 1 in 14 here for players 3 difficulty, but going any higher than that, unless you have the maximum and takes you one shot on Andario, it's probably not worth it past that. And for all the other statues from Durio, it's 1 in 10 according to this drop odds calculator. And as you bump it up, it almost doesn't change at all the way up to players 8. Same here with the one from Mephisto, it's 1 in 13.6, and it goes to 1 in 12.4. Right here, Diablo goes to the same exact change. And here, for the statue that you get from Baal, it goes the exact same way as well. So it looks like all of the statues really don't matter literally at all, essentially. You go ahead and bump the players count up. It only changes by 1 run, which is imperceivable when you're actually out there running, except for Andara, which I would say maybe players 3 to bump it up to, just you know, if you're not just one-shotting Andara. If you're one-shotting Andy or one-shotting any of them, go ahead and bump it up on offline single player. But in general, none of them except for Andy gets any buff according to this drop odds calculator here on Maxwell. Hopefully these statue farming tricks helped you out, and if that one did, make sure you check this one out up over here. I know you're gonna like that video as well. Peace out and keep slaying.
Can't carry anymore. Good day.
It is an honor to serve you.
So it's not uncommon to be a content creator and a streamer of a particular video game and to get asked the same question over and over again. It really just comes as part of the gig. But this really did get me thinking, what are actually the 10 most commonly asked questions about Diablo 2 Resurrected? So this is not sponsored in any way, but I decided to hop over to Google and ask Gemini, what are the 10 most asked questions about Diablo 2 Resurrected? So the number 10 most frequently asked question, how do I deal with immune monsters in Hell difficulty? So right off the bat here, I'm going to show you the easiest way for almost any character while you're playing through or even later, dealing with getting past immune monsters. Now I'm actually doing it right here. Do you see what it is? Just run.
Run, Forrest! Run!
Run, run, run. Skip them. Run. Skip, run. Skip, run. Just skip everything. There's very few monsters in Diablo 2 Resurrected you absolutely have to take out. There's the Act bosses. There's one of the council members in the Act 3 to go ahead and make the flail. There's like the ancients, and then I guess we'll say the Bale Waves, even though technically, if you're incredibly crazy good at the game, you can actually skip Bale Waves, but it's not logical for most people to skip Bale Waves. It's so hard. So yeah, almost everything in the game, you can just go ahead and skip it. This is especially useful on a playthrough because you can just keep running. Now this is most useful, of course, on a playthrough on the Sorceress, but you can just go ahead and teleport past everything. Here we go. So don't forget, skip anything on a playthrough you don't feel like playing. Now a very common one here, either on a playthrough or after the playthrough when you're first farming. Well, these guys are immune to cold. What am I going to do to take these guys out? Oh yeah, I actually have fire damage here as well. And this is what's called a dual spec build. You have more than one element type, so if you come across something that's immune to cold, you have the fire. Or vice versa, if you come across something that's fire immune, you can go ahead, drop the blizzards here for a cold damage. There's variations of this on pretty much every single character. You can go ahead and go with one damage type or another. Now, these dual spec builds will never be the absolute best possible ones in the game, but you can kind of take care of a little bit of everything. Now, if you have one of the most powerful builds in the game and you want to take out every single monster in the entire game, bar none, you never want to be stopped or slowed down, and you want to go anywhere, everywhere in the whole game, you can grab yourself some of these Sunder Charms. Now, you get these from taking out uniques and elites and stuff like that in terror zones in Diablo 2 Resurrected. They don't drop them all the time, but they have a chance to drop them for you. Now, this one's for lightning, and monsters' lightning immunity is sundered, which means instead of taking no damage from you, they actually have a 95% lightning res. And that goes for fire, it'll be fire res, poison, cold, etc., etc. A common misconception for new players, lightning resistance minus 70%. People usually think that applies to the monster, so if their immunity is 110, whoop, that 70 goes to them, so that means they would only be at 40 lightning res, right? No, that's not how it works. That minus 70 does not subtract from the monster's immunity. It actually subtracts from your res. So hypothetically, if you have your reses exactly capped at 75%, you'll throw on a Sunder Charm and you'll only have 5% lightning res. It's actually a penalty for using this kind of powerful charm, I suppose. Now, a monster still having 95% resistance, that's nothing you're actually going to want to go out and farm and try to find good gear from, because that's going to be so slow, you're going to have no efficiency. But you're going to want to combine it with gear pieces, one like this for the lightning builds, minus 20.
Good day. You have done.
Alright, some more Diablo cinematics, let's go.
Hello, greetings, Gerund. Good to see you.
My companion drew in the dank, cold air of the tomb. It seemed to strengthen him. I stood in the doorway between light and dark. What was left of my sanity implored me not to enter. But that voice was just a whisper now. As we worked our way down, deeper and deeper into the crypt, I began to see a change in my companion. He seemed to be gaining strength. I could hardly see in the gloom, but my companion seemed to know the way. We came at last to a great hall. It was then I realized my companion hadn't been gaining strength. He had been losing what was left of his humanity. He moved with demonic speed, and then you appeared.
Stop! The beast contained herein shall not be set free, not even by you.
like the stream, thank you.
You have just ensured the doom of this world. You cannot even begin to imagine what you've set in motion this day. Go to the Temple of Light in the eastern city of Karas. There you will find the gate to hell opened before you. You must find the courage to step through that gate, Miles. Take the stone you hold to the Hellforge, where it will be destroyed. Now run. Take the stone and run!
What choice did I have? I ran.
He ran.
Good day. Well. Welcome to...
I've not.
Alrighty. I think I'm gonna jump off for a bit, but I'll be back on in like an hour or two. I hope y'all enjoyed. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all later. Thank you guys for hanging out. I'll be back on in a bit. Have a good day, guys.